So if we know we're starting here, quadrant 1 is going to have any angle that is between 0 and 90 degrees, because we know that this makes a 90-degree angle. We know that any angle in quadrant 2 is going to be between 90 and 180 degrees, because the straight line is 180 degrees. And then quadrant 3 is any angle between 180 degrees and 270 degrees. And then quadrant 4 has any angle between 270 and 360 degrees. So these angles we're calling theta. So if I would write that out, that 90 degrees, that theta is going to be between 90 and 180 degrees. This is my theta here, and that's how I would write it, which is really scratchy, and I'm sorry. So if we know that a circle goes around 360 degrees, makes one circle, what happens when I have an angle that goes around and forms a 720 degrees? So 360 times 2 is 720. So those are called coterminal angles. They start and stop at the same spot, but yet one I've just done one revolution, the other one I've done 2 revolutions. So these are called coterminal. They have the same initial side and the same terminating side. So if we have an angle that is negative 75 degrees, and negative 75 means I'm coming this direction, I'm not at 90, but I'm down here. So this is my negative 75 degrees. What would be its coterminal angle? That means that this is the initial for this one, and this is the terminating side. I can have an initial angle here, but go this direction and have the same terminating side. So they have the same initial and terminating side, but this one's going to be a positive angle. So I would find that by saying 360 degrees minus my 75 degrees is going to give me 285 degrees. So negative 75 and 285 are what we call coterminal angles. We end up at the same position on my graph when I'm looking at it. Now we're converting, we have another measure that we need to look at when we've got a graph. And I have a radius and I have a circle. Well, I have an arc, let's say. I have a circle around here. And then I've got an angle that's going to intercept my circle. You see how lazy my circle is. This is called an arc. This angle in here is going to be called theta. And this is going to be the radius. And the definition is a radian is an angle that has a vertex at the center, that it intersects an arc on a circle that's equal to the length of the radius. So this is equal to this. Then this is called 1 radian. So when we're looking at our total circle, we know that as we go around, 360 degrees is equal to 2 pi radians. And that's how they came up with the formula for a circle. For the circumference of a circle, you're taking 2 times the rate times pi times the radius. So the radians times the radius of the circle, and that gives you the circumference of the circle. Now, I'm going to try to draw a better circle here. Well, not too good. So if I know that if I go around a complete circle, I have gone 2 pi. So I know that 360 degrees is equal to 2 pi. So what happens when I go 180 degrees? What are the radians for this?
Wouldn't it just be pi?
It's just going to be pi because I'm doing half the circle, so I'm just going to take that. What about if I do a 90-degree angle?
1/2 pi.
Pi over 2.
Pi over 2.
Pi, or we call it pi over 2. So if this is 2 pi all the way around, if I just go to here, then I've just got pi over 2. So at 90 degrees, it's pi over 2. 180 degrees is going to be just pi. So then at 270 degrees here, what's it going to be?
3 pi over 2.
3 pi over 2. So let your fractions work for you. We have pi over 2, 2 pi over 2. That reduces to pi. 3 pi over 2. And then now we're going to work back to 2 pi, which is going to be 4 pi over 2. Now, you are going to have to know a unit circle. You are going to have to know the degrees and the radians when it comes to this. So, if you don't know it, you might want to learn it. So now let's break it down just a little bit more. So let's come in here halfway. My granddaughter's been in here with my colored pencils. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find colors. So what if we have a 45-degree angle?
Pi over 4.
So how did you get pi over 4?
Just because it's 1/4 of pi.
Okay. So we can call it 1/4 of pi, or if we definitely know that 90 degrees is pi over 2, we can say 1/2 of pi over 2 is going to equal pi over 4. Sorry, guys, my mother-in-law keeps calling me, so I'm texting her. So then if we've got here pi over 4, we've got pi over 2, so 1 pi over 4, 2 pi over 4 is going to be pi over 2, then what is 135 degrees going to equal? One pi over 4, 2 pi over 4,
3 pi over 4.
3 pi over 4. Then this is going to be 4 pi over 4, which ends up going back to pi. So those of you who don't know how to do this, I'm trying to teach you a way to learn it. So this is going to be 3 pi over 4, 435. 180 stays at pi. So then what's going to be this degree?
Five pi over 4.
So 4 pi over 4. So what's this angle degree? Sorry, that's supposed to be 45 degrees. Is that 210?
225.
No. 5 pi over 4. Then you have 6 pi over 4. So that's going to be what? Reduce 270. 6 pi over 4 is going to be what?
3 pi over 2.
3 pi over 2. And then we're back to 2 pi, but we've got this one. We've got 6 pi over 4, and then this one's going to be 7 pi over 4. And then 8 pi over 4. So 270 plus 45 is going to give us
315.
I'm gonna start calling on people if you don't start answering.
I said 315.
Thank you. Now that's just the start. How are we going to do with our 30 and 60 degrees? So if we look at our, I'm going to draw another circle here, hopefully a little bit better. So if I know I have pi over 2, and this is my pi, 3 pi over 2, and then 2 pi. And now I have got a 30 and 60 degree. So now I've broken this up, this whole pi up now into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have a protractor in my bag, people, but I don't like to use it. So then what is 30 degrees going to be? If I've divided 1 pi into 6 different pieces, then 30 degrees is going to be what?
Pi over 6.
Over 6.
Pi over 6. Then you've got 2 pi over 6, which reduces to pi over 3. 3 pi over 6, which reduces to pi over 2. 4 pi over 6, 5 pi over 6, 6 pi over 6. And knowing your degree angles as you go around. So you need to make sure also where these are located. So knowing that pi over 6, pi over 4, and pi over 3 are all in the first quadrant. And then these next ones are in the second, third, and fourth. So as we move along through the class, you'll be able to get that. So as we're looking at different degrees and different arc measurements and radians, if I knew a radius and I knew an angle measure and I wanted to find the arc length, which is referred to as S. S is going to equal my radius times my angle. Now, we know that when we're looking for the circumference, that we're always in pi. The theta always has to be in radians. So when you're working with your calculator, you need to make sure your calculator's in radians. So that's why you need to know those major angles and then go from there. Or if I told you that we needed 140 degrees, we had an angle of 140 degrees and a radius of 3, what would be the arc length? So the 3 is the radius, degrees of 144, and I want you to find S. So we've got to convert this into radians. So I know that at 180 degrees, I have 1 pi. The pi is my radians. So I can use this as my conversion factor. So I can say 144 degrees over 1 times pi over 180 degrees. My degrees are going to cancel. So then I have 144 pi over 180. When I reduce that, it's going to give me what?
.8 pi.
Well, multiply it with the pi. So 144 times pi divided by 180.
4
Give me a
pi,
decimal round.
Oh, you said decimal?
Yes, 3 places.
$2.51.
So if this radius, I didn't give a measurement. So if this was in inches, let's say, so your radius was 3 inches, I had a 144 degree angle, and I wanted to know the arc length, that would be 2.51 inches. Because when I multiplied everything out, remember I changed this. Oh, wait a minute, sorry. Did y'all multiply it times 3 yet? Because once we do this, we're converting to radians. We got to multiply times the 3. Sorry. $7.53 inches is going to be my arc length. So you always convert from your degrees into radians. And then we're going to follow the formula. We're taking our radius, multiplying it by theta, and going to get our final answer. And because this is measured in inches, then things get canceled out. This is what we call an approximation answer. Now, if I kept it like this, what was your fraction when you did this without multiplying it, keeping the pi?
4 pi over 5.
So we have 4 pi over 5. When we multiply that times 3 inches, then that's going to be 12 pi over 5 inches. And I could reduce this, but this is going to be the exact answer. So when you're looking at homework, you're going to see possibly an answer that want an exact. When they want an exact, you use the pi. Or if you have another thing, we're not going to be talking about E anytime, but when you have an E or whatever, anything that represents a number or a decimal that keeps going, we're going to use that symbol. And then an approximation is going to be when you're using the pi. And always use the pi button unless it refers to you using 3.14. And then never round anything until you get to the final step, because if you round in here and then multiply, it's going to mess up your final step. So question, I'm assuming everybody was able to get on and do the algebra review.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay. So there is homework posted. Should be. If there's not, let me know. But
Is it in Blackboard?
it is, you go through the same way. It's not going to, homework is not going to be posted in Blackboard. It's going to be posted in My Labs Plus, where you went to do the algebra review. But I'll double check as soon as I get off this and make sure it's on there. But that's where it'll be posted, and it'll have the due date of your first test. So the due date, the first test, it says is September the 4th, which is next Friday. We should be able to get to that. If not, I may move it back to the next week, but we'll see how it goes. And then when we go through everything, that'll be the date will be the day of the test. So yeah. Did everybody get on and listen when I was talking about possibly live streaming y'all into the classroom on Mondays?
That would be great if you did that.
So I've got a thing called a camera in a box, which sounds really strange, I know, but that's just the way it is. And can y'all see my screen still?
It's your face cam.
Yes, ma'am.
You can see my notebook paper.
Oh, no. See your face.
Okay. So I have a thing called a camera in a box, and I can set it up so I can live stream y'all into the class. so you don't really feel like you're getting less than what everybody else is getting. I know somebody had contacted me about working, and they were setting up their work schedule, and I just want to make sure that wasn't going to conflict with anybody, or if it'd be okay for you to be able to switch, because if I did it, I have to do it for everybody in the classroom. Then what I would do is have Wednesday set up during this time for the whole class to come in and for us to work problems. So like on Mondays, we would do that. Wednesdays, you could come in and ask questions. And then on Fridays, I would still be available for office hours. Does that sound okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
On My Labs Plus, it says 0 current assignments.
Okay. Thanks for checking. I will definitely add those right now because y'all were my last class for today. Let me go back in and do attendance because I had a couple of people that weren't with me a few minutes ago. Just need to make sure. So did Brandon McCutcheon join us? Did Peyton joined us? Yes. And did Perry Van Valkenburg join us? If you're here, let me know because I need to, otherwise you're not here. Okay. Okie dokie. I will see y'all then. I will try to get it set up so I can see y'all on Monday. If that's a problem for somebody, let me know and I will work it out.
So what's due by we only have classes on Wednesdays? Or
Well, if I do that live streaming, then you'll only have class on Monday.
and you wouldn't
So
we wouldn't
that
have
means that
class on Wednesday?
then you wouldn't have class on Wednesday. So you could come into Wednesday and get help with anything, kind of be like a tutoring session type thing, and I'd be able to answer questions. But on Wednesday, that's all you'd be doing. And then on Monday, you would be live streaming into the class.
Okay. What is due by either by next Monday or next Wednesday? Or like what's due in this class?
What's going to be due is when I add some assignments, but they're not going to be due until the day of the test. So right now they will be due next Friday, but if I see that Friday's going to be rushing us having the first test, then I will move it to the next week.
Okay. Sounds good to me. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Yeah. You said that the notes are gonna be on My Labs.
The notes will be on My Labs, and the PowerPoints, if you log in, or the notes will be on Blackboard, but the PowerPoints are in My Labs. If you go in, there's a link on the side that's called Media, and you can go in there and put in the chapter and the section and click on PowerPoints, and then those will pop up.
I see it. Thank.
Okay. But I will be posting some notes also, so, and those will be on Blackboard. Any other questions? Y'all have a good time chatting. I see everybody's added to these group chats over here. I'm gonna send in my name too. I'm just kidding. I won't.
The class on Monday, is that going to be the same time as this one?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So you'll actually be joining your classmates you know, that you would be like you're sitting in class with them, pretty much.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I will see y'all next week. Have a good weekend. Sounds bad to say that on Wednesday, but I will be available Friday. So if you get on the homework and have any questions or any questions on the notes or whatever, just let me know.